Welcome to Redbeard and the Den of Tools. Howdy ho, guys and gals, it's Red, your friendly neighborhood tool bear, back again here in the Den of Tools. And today we're here to get ready for, it's coming up this weekend, the huge parking lot sale, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Be there. Alright. Well, anyway, let's jump into it and see if there's any good ads, or any good coupons, I should say, for this weekend. Of course, the first thing we see here is the Predator Prepare for the Unexpected 3500 watt super quiet inverter generator. You know, and they say super quiet. I guess it's a comparison thing versus your standard generator. But I'll tell you what, if you're looking for a generator that's going to be reliable and is not going to offend the neighbors and even your own self, if you're out camping and stuff, it's nice having a generator like this so you can have power and not ruin the sounds around you when you're on the campsite. So I'm a huge fan of these. This is they have two of these inverter generators. This is the big brother of them. And $697 is not a bad price. But here's the deal, and we'll talk more about this later. This is the parking lot sale, and that means there's going to be two types of things that show up there. And that's the open box and the factory returns. I'm going to guess if you keep a sharp eye at a lot of these Harbor Freights, you're going to see some of these Predator generators for super cheap. So just keep your eye peeled. We'll talk more about that in a minute. We got the Portland 7 amp pole saw. This is the corded one. Remember, all the Portland stuff is corded as opposed to the Lynx or the Bauer stuff. Not to say that's bad. I know a lot of people complain that the chainsaw leaks oil and stuff. I wonder if these people have used a lot of inexpensive chainsaws. I mean, you got this mechanism where it has to get oil to the blade, so you really want to store it in such a way that oil's not going to leak. But if you're not careful, it will happen. It's a chainsaw. Anyway, we've got the Badlands ZXR 1,200 pound truck SUV winch for $289. Now, I mean, that is honestly, compared to the price of most other winches and stuff, that is a pretty good deal. The Badlands, I've heard nothing bad other than the fact that they might be a little bit on the slow side. But for the price and the weight capacity, it's hard to touch them. All right, and then over there, we on the right-hand side, as you can see, we got it. Not only do we have the 6 Skittles-like colors, but we've also got the new white one there. At your choice for $197.99. That's not that great a price, okay? Now, there are coupons floating around. If you go over to Harbor Freight Coupon Database or check them out, I think they're like around 170, like 169.99 or something. And now that one that you see for that, it only shows the red, the black, and the blue SKU numbers. But I've heard a lot of stories, people saying that the managers in their stores were nice enough to allow them to use that coupon on the other 3. I don't know about the white one just yet. Maybe you can comment down below, let us know if you've had good luck with using one of those coupons on the white ones. All right, let's keep moving down the list here. Save up to 84%. Here's some of the items. Now, this is, of course, always the smaller kind of items. The safety glasses over here, I'm going to be honest, not a fan of these safety glasses. They're not comfortable. They get scratched super easily. And inevitably, unless you're looking for something disposable, that's all they are. The Color Snap Blade Utility Knife for 25 cents. Man, I grab a paw full of those anytime I go by when they're at that price. There's always a use for them around the shop, around the house, or whatnot. Let's jump through some of these. The electric fly swatter. Don't hit your spouse with one of these. You will have a short-lived marriage. The 12 grip cushion grip screwdrivers. I'm going to have to say that's a hard pass on those screwdrivers. I'm not a fan of them. Maybe some of you may like them, but I've not seen them hold up well. What else we got here? We got the 18-inch magnetic tool holder. During the winter months, quite often we'll see this come up in one of the free coupons. It's a great pickup then. To be honest, though, for $249, it's a great storage solution. It really is. Speed square, man. We'll call it rafter angle square. We always call them a speed square. $199. You should have those all over the shop. That rubber solid wheel chock, I gotta tell you, people ask me about that for some reason. Like, is it good? It's a solid rubber wheel chock. It's exactly what it says, and it's $6. There's no problem with it. The 6-inch reciprocating saw blade pack for $6.99. I'm not a huge fan of their cheap Sawzall blades. I know I'm not supposed to use the term Sawzall. It's Milwaukee, but I always call them. Always be a crescent wrench to me, and always be, channel locks. And I'm just an old bear. What can I say? But the point of the matter is that I quite often found that you'll get more work done with a cheap saw with a good blade on it than you will with a decent saw with a cheap blade on it. So I would prefer to spend my money on the blades and maybe save a few bucks on the saw itself. Let's see here. Okay, now over on the right hand, this part we got to talk about. It says plus liquidation sale, hundreds of discounted open box factory reconditioned as is closed out and scratch and dent items. Now, they say the discounts get bigger every day. So this was certainly the way it used to work. And it used to be you go in on Friday and you get an idea of what it is maybe you want to hope will still be around on Sunday. Because on Sunday, the stuff was dirt cheap. If you've been a fan of the channel, you know that, I once bought a $700, Predator engine for $100. And you can get some real screaming deals that way. But they've kind of changed the way things work. And in some ways it's for the better. In some ways it's not. And it's all now basically controlled by the computer. The computer figures out how long something's been sitting there, and they put a price tag on it, and it controls the pricing. Now, what I've seen, though, is that they're not really doing this sort of thing. So I kind of take issue with the 93% off. It says up to, right underneath it says Friday, 50% off Saturday. And that really, really small print there underneath the day of the week says up to. I mean, it could be 1% off, but it could be up to 93% off. I've yet to see anything 93% off this entire year at any of the Harbor Freights I've stopped at. So I'm not a big fan of Harbor Freight's marketing department. I think they go way too overboard and to the point of being kind of comical at this point. But the fact of the matter is, what I do see, though, is with this new pricing stuff that's controlled by the computer, is that there's a lot of the bigger items, a lot more of the bigger items, like, say, those generators and compressors and stuff like that do end up with a 50% off price tag on it. And I got to say, being able to get, a $600, $700 generator for half price, that's a pretty darn good deal if you ask any bear that I know. So, anyway, I keep the whole point for me, and many of you on the channel, is for these sales is, when it comes to the sidewalk sale, is we're looking for the open box, we're looking for the factory reconditioned and the scratch and dent stuff, and we want to see a good sale price on it. Don't count on seeing the 93%. As I said, that used to be a thing. I've not seen it anymore, and I wish Harbor Freight would change their marketing here to be a little more genuine in how they present that. All right, enough of the bear harping about that. I'll get off my soapbox and we'll move on here. Portland pressure washer. I picked up one of those. I've been meaning to do a video for you guys for a inexpensive round-the-house electric, pressure washer. It's not half bad. It's a decent little pressure washer. It's got good nozzles on it, good tips that come with it. I like it. It's pretty nice. That Franklin ladder at $109. Now, I'm a huge fan of these ladders. I know for most tradespeople, though, they're not going to like them because they are on the heavy side. And they really are. But for a homeowner who doesn't need to have 3 or 4 ladders around the house, this thing will do it all. I've even used mine as a pool ladder when the ladder we had an above ground pool, and it broke. So I just took this thing because ours wasn't exactly it wasn't the Franklin one. It was a little giant. It was all aluminum. So I'm like, well, it can't really hurt much. And sure enough, it lasted for 3 months and got us through the summer until I could order a new one. All right, the 10-foot by 10-foot pop-up canopy. Hey, maybe you guys can chime in on this. I'm not a fan of that canopy. I'm really not. I think it's really cheaply made, and I think you can buy a better canopy for the same amount of money. So there's more along the lines of an easy up with the straight legs rather than that slant leg kind of style. The 3-ton steel floor jack, $69.99. That's a great price on the jack, but I'm going to say this. The low profile jack is not only lower, it lifts higher. And now granted, it's usually like $10 more. I would say skip this one. Go for the low profile jack. That way you can use it on a car. You can use it on a truck. You can use it on all sorts of stuff. It's a couple bucks more, but you're going to get more versatility out of it. The Daytona jacks, I can't say enough about those, man. If you're looking for something with some really solid quality, get the Daytonas. $100 for that. The 3-ton there, and all the lovely new colors they got there. Also, I want a lot of people miss this. You know, the yellow one, the top of the line Daytona. For those of you who don't know, that comes with a 3-year warranty on it. A lot of people think no Harbor Freight stuff comes with warranties. A lot of the top tier stuff does come with a 1 to 3 year warranty. So if you really want to make a solid investment, you might want to look at one of those. All right, moving on. We got the compressors here, the good versus the better, Central Pneumatic versus the McGraw. Now, actually, I was having a chat with the store manager over in Bozeman just the other day about this. And she's got the black one. And of course, if you've been around the channel, you know I had one for years and years and years. Now, this McGraw here, the one they're comparing it to, this isn't exactly the apples-to-apple comparison. This is the oil-free, and I like the oil-free. I really do. Now, I have both the oiled McGraw and the oil-free McGraw. Now, the oil-free McGraw usually has a coupon on it, takes it down to around 170, and the Central Pneumatic usually has a coupon on it, takes it down to like 145, 150. Basically, there's a price difference of about $20. And there's no way I wouldn't spend the extra $20 to get the McGraw over that. Now, if you want to go with the oilless, here's what I say about that. If you are doing if you're using your compressor like, once a week or so, you're gonna be fine with the oilless. If you're using it every day, every single day, you want to get an oiled compressor at that point. That said, I would maybe step back a second and think about what do you actually use a compressor for, because I'm finding that with the new power tools and stuff that are out there, I'm finding less and less of a reason to go with, at least for the homeowner and DIYer, less and less of a reason to have a large tank compressor like these. I've got that Fortress 2-gallon compressor. I almost never use any of my other compressors, and I have a bunch of them for some reason. Anyway, moving on. 44 by 22 double bank extra wide cabinets, $429. These things are solid as a rock, man. You could run them over the tank probably. All right, maybe go a little too far there, but I'll say this: this is a solid professional grade cabinet, and at $429, with the choice of colors there, I don't know. Some of you ask, "Hey, is the white one coming out in these?" I don't know, but we know what I can tell you is the 4-drawer carts, not the 5-drawer like we looked at earlier. The 4-drawer are also coming out in the Skittles colors, so I'm pretty excited to see that. Pro Air impact wrenches. If you are serious about air, you'd be hard pressed to beat these the Earthquake here, and $100 there for your choice. That seems like a no-brainer for me. Speaking of no-brainers, this one bears a huge fan of, have been for years. That's this Bauer 10 amp deep cut bandsaw. These things are so useful. And on top of it, if you can either buy a stand or you can use like the Franklin jaw, or I call it jaw horse, but a clamping workstation, whatever. You can clamp the bottom of that if you do it just right and turn it into a vertical bandsaw with that. And I use it that way all the time. I love that thing. It's a great tool. The 6-inch variable speed dual action polisher. Now this is one that used to be the Chicago Electric. It disappeared for a few months, came back in Bauer. The Bauer red with the whole setup and everything. Essentially the same polisher. I think it's a little better design, but $59.99. I think the other one was a little bit cheaper, but that's not a bad price on that. Thunderbolt batteries. Stay away from the yellow ones, but the other ones aren't too bad from what I've seen. The Bauer 20-volt lithium cordless half-inch drill driver kit. Now, see how they compare it against Ryobi? So these are what are considered prosumer DIYer level. This is like, I'm a homeowner. I don't do this professionally, but I want something better than like a cheap Black & Decker or something. This is like halfway between consumer and professional level. And that's where Ryobi lives. That's where Porter Cable lives. And that's where Bauer is. Shut up, Moto. And I gotta say that every time I pick up a Bauer tool, I'm instantly surprised by the quality of it, because I keep thinking prosumer. I'm a snobbery kind of bear. I'm used to my professional tools, and I pick those up and I'm like, these are not bad. They're not bad at all. Now, I did ask about the bigger batteries that come out. They've got the 3-amp battery, which if you get the Bauer tools, I recommend getting the 3-amp batteries. Larger batteries are on the way, but I don't think we're going to see them until maybe first or second quarter next year. All right, we got mechanics roller seat, the creeper, and the adjustable pneumatic seat. If you're a petite bear, these will work fine for you. If you're a full-grown bear, I'm going to say hard pass on these. Same with that heavy-duty folding. Oh, there's the trains in town. Can you know? The heavy-duty folding aluminum sports chair. There was a conversation about this online just the other day, and a lot of people like it. I find that it's actually kind of small. Now, the reason I say that is I have some standard size, and I call them standard size because that's what most of the competitors' size match up with. This, to me, feels like it's about 20% smaller than my other chairs. I should do a comparison so you can see them. Oh, sorry about that, train. I'm in train country, so it's going to happen. Click-Tech torque wrenches, $9.99. Remember, this is not, if you're working for NASA, you're going to want to pass on this. But for average stuff around the house, around the shop, working on your car and stuff, these things are just fine. Get them dialed in. Make sure you treat them correctly, because you got to, torque wrenches is something you just toss in a toolbox. It's a precision instrument. But for $10, there's no reason not to have a set of 3 of these. Speaking of no reason not to have, the Pittsburgh 13-piece half-inch deep impact set, that's one that professionals use on a daily basis. That is a no-brainer there. The mechanic shop towel, I know some people like it. The bear hates it. It gets the little red fuzzies all over my shop. All right, and then remember what I was saying about, air is just, it has its place in larger shops and stuff like that. But for most people, unless you're doing body work or in other specific uses, you can usually get away with just going electric. And the Earthquake line is showing that. $229 for a full-size half-inch impact torque set. That is, yeah. What else do you need? All right. Talk about good versus better. We've got the Flux 125 versus the Titanium Easy Flux 125. You know what? Someone might have one of those in the shop. Yeah. So we're working on a comparison test. Sorry, this is my last week here in Montana, and I'm headed back to Vegas there, and for the winter, because I don't do snow. I'll leave that to my brother Blue, and so I was hoping to get a video of this done before I left. It doesn't look like it's going to happen, so stay tuned. Probably in the next 2 weeks, we'll get a head-to-head. Quiet, Moto. We'll get a head-to-head comparison between the two welders there to see exactly what the difference is and what you get for your. It was essentially a $50, $55 price difference. Predator pressure washer. As I say, if it says Predator on it, you're going to be just fine with it. Everyone I know who's bought a Predator-related product has been happy with it. The Warrior 18-volt lithium-ion cordless. So I have this one also. I bought it. The Cubs wanted their own set of tools, so I bought it for them. And then last summer, we used it on a project here at the house, and just to see how well it would work. And, it's a little slower than, my Hercules set or whatnot. But, it's not half bad. It really isn't. And if you're just your general homeowner looking to do some, honeydew kind of stuff around the house, this is more than enough of what you're going to need it for. All right. The Bauer one's great if you're going to be, serious, I really want to work on some big projects and stuff. But if you're just going to be, fixing some cabinets and putting up some pictures and, maybe fixing the fence or something around the house, you'll get by just fine with one of these. And at that price, it's hard to beat. The Braun 390 Lumens magnetic slim bar, if you don't have one, why? This thing is a super hot item. The price on this, I'm surprised it hasn't gone up more. $25 is a buy it now kind of price. Braun 5000 lumens LED hanging shop light. I love these things. I had 3 of them, And I even took one and I built it into one of my workbenches. $20 is a great price. They put out an astounding amount of light. Now there is one that's been for sale over, I think it was at Costco, and I think you can find them online sometimes, where they're linkable. So if you wanted to put a whole series of lights up, I would go that route. But if you just need one or two lights here and there and you're not worried about interlinking them for easy cord management, this is an easy one to pick up there. All right, jumping down here, we got the Pittsburgh 130-piece tools set. Remember, I'm not a big fan of these tool sets. I know some of you are. This might not be a bad one, like to throw in the back of your pickup truck or something. Emergency tool set for $30. You've got yourself some locking clamps. You got all your basic sockets and stuff. All the bit heads, and even a hammer. So, who knows what you could fix with that. But for $30 might be some peace of mind for you. Jumping over here, I want to talk about this tarp. So the different tarps that everyone looks at, the blue tarps at Harbor Freight, and they're like, yeah, they're decent stuff, but they don't last stuff. These silver tarps are a lot heftier and a lot more robust. And I just bought two of them for the trip back, and I'll be putting them over the back of the truck, down the highway and stuff. If you tried to do that with the blue one, you wouldn't make it 200 miles before that thing would be shredded. But these silver tarps are really solid, and they'll hold up for a decent amount of time. Variable speed multi-tools. Now, if you guys missed it, I did a first look on the new Hercules multi-tool that's coming out. Now, what I should do is, I've got these. I should be doing a comparison between the variable speed Chicago Electric and the variable speed the Hercules. And maybe we'll get around to doing that. Now, the single speed, I've often said, for most people, though, the single speed is going to be just fine. I was talking to some guys, some buddies of mine around here, contractors, and one of them did say that he liked the variable speed. The other one's like, no, the single speed's fine for me. But he also does a lot of rehab work, and he was talking about like when he gets into like a door jam and stuff, and he's trying to cut it out or do some stuff and fix it. That if you go in with the high speed, it'll rip the piece out, whereas with the low speed, you can cut out the one piece there and leave another, without ripping the whole piece off the nails that are already there. And I could see where that might come in handy. And the only time I've ever used the variable speed selection on mine is when I'm starting to cut on something that's really hard, and I need to get that first cut laid in there so I can really go to town on it. Anyway, Badland 2500. This is more like an ATV kind of winch. I'm not going to pull a whole lot with it, but for $50, when you need it, that'd be nice to have. I want to jump down here. The Apache roller carry-on case. Man, I need to pick up one of these. These things look great. I just wish they were a little bit bigger. I don't know. I need to check them out. I'm looking for a drone case that will hold my Phantom 4, so maybe we'll give that a shot. There's the Chicago Electric Recip saw with rotating handle. I believe it or not, I have this saw. I've had several of them, actually. And they didn't die on me. I loan them out and never get them back because I'm an idiot. But I think it kind of says something about the saw, doesn't it? Or about me. Now, I gotta say, I didn't think the rotating handle function would be something that I would use a lot. And I actually found myself using it quite a bit. And now granted, it's a corded tool, but for $20 for around the house, general DIY kind of stuff, it's not a bad little saw. Bunker Hill $2.99 ammo dry box. That's the buy it now price. That's about the cheapest price I think you're going to see on it. Maybe a few cents cheaper, but $2.99 is the buy it price on that. All right, moving down. Oh, speaking of a buy it now price, right here, we've got the Pittsburgh half-inch drive, 25-inch professional breaker bar. This thing's a beast. It looks just like the Icon, looks just like the Snap-on, feels just like them too. And for $12.99, oh my gosh, with lifetime warranty, right? What more can you ask for? Not much, really. All right, let's move along here. Well, summer's coming to an end. Maybe not be picking up one of these fans just yet. I don't know, if you're someplace like the Bears going, it's still going to be summer for some time. And there's that Predator. Now, this is the standard generator. This is the big boy. 6.5 horsepower gas generator. And now just note that the wheels and handle is a separate kit. That does not come with it. You're not going You're not going to get that when you buy it. You have to buy it separately. They just kind of say it down here in little text right below it says it's separate, but that is a solid generator. Let's jump down here. This light here, the 200 lumens super bright LED lights, those things are great. Put them inside of cabinets and stuff for some extra lighting. I love those. All right, we got the good versus the better, the saws. Remember that, if you've been a fan of the channel from way back when, the Bear used to be a huge fan of the Chicago Electric sliding miter saw for your average homeowner DIYer. Thought it was a great deal. Then they stopped adding the blade. And as you notice right to the right of it, says blades sold separately. Well, if you look at it, you're looking at a price difference here. Was it doing math in my head? Anyway, a few bucks. And $25. And the Admiral comes with a blade. All right? As I say, a $20 value. Well, if you take that Chicago Electric and you add that blade on there, you're essentially right near the same price point, right? So now you're looking at, I'm getting larger cut capacity with a better made saw with way more features in the Admiral for what is essentially the same price. I would be hard pressed to find a reason to buy the Chicago Electric at this point. Not that it's gotten bad, just that they've come out with a better option. All right. There's a 301 piece mechanics toolkit right in the center. Everyone who buys that says that they're happy with it. I'm not a big fan of tool sets. I like to buy stuff, individually, but maybe I'm just picky. But all I'm doing is pass along information to you saying that, that's not a bad tool set to get. At least that's what the others say. And speaking of stuff, quantum, man, these quantum lights. So the wife, she's big into going walking and stuff, and she loves these headlamp kind of stuff for the early morning kind of walks, and she looks for critters and stuff. And she loves these headlamps. So take it from her. She says that they passed the Mrs. Bear test of quality. And down here we've got the blue design. Apparently there's also a red one. I don't know. Auto darkening welding helmet. So I've not tried these, but I do have. I know a bunch of you were saying you got to get a better helmet. I got the old Hobart kind of helmet. So I got the Vulcan helmet. And I got to say, the Vulcan helmet it's phenomenal. All right, it really is. But I know a lot of people who use these helmets. They don't have as big a viewing area and all the bells and whistles, but it's for $40. It's a darn good choice or option there for you. The 3-ton heavy-duty steel jacks. I just used those this summer. I used them on the trailer. I used them on the truck. They work just fine. The thing with these things is make sure you have a stable base. Make sure you're not putting lateral pressure on it. But they work great. And last but not least, I don't know why I have to keep saying this, folks, but it says it right there at the bottom. No lines before 8 a.m. and no waiting overnight. Sorry, no camping. Take your tents home. No RVs. We know it's a big sale. We're all super excited. We want to be there, but, please respect their privacy and others. All right. Anyway, that's all the Bear has for you. Hey, if you hit up the sale, you find something good, why don't you comment down below? Let us know what you're finding, especially, the Bear's interested in finding out what you picked up, open box or factory return, and what kind of deal you got. We're trying to track that kind of stuff. Let others know what they can expect maybe in future sales. Anyway, as I said, that's all the Bear has for you today. You all take care. God bless. And as always, shine on.